everyone is doing well. Today we're going to talk about Upstart loans. All right. Now I've personally used Upstart, so this isn't one of those videos where, you know, like people do a product review and they've never actually used the product. 90% of everything that I talk about I've used before. Okay, that's why I try to speak from experience, not theory. All right, and I used them for some consolidation myself in the past, and what's so cool about them is that just their approval process is completely different. So let's just jump straight into it. Number one, all right, the company was founded by ex-Googlers, all right, not people that just go online and Google stuff, right, because they're Googlers too, right, but these actual, there's a few people that actually work with the company, a man and woman, all right, I don't want to put their business out there, but they actually used to work for Google, all right, and the man that actually used to work for Google, he also used to work for Apple as well too, and it's not just them, there's a complete team of them, but those two in general, they actually used to work directly for Google, and they said, you know what? A lot of millennials, they have run into a problem. Later down the line, after graduation, they're, of course, you know, starting their families, they're working jobs and things of that sort. But there's some times where they want to, you know, borrow money, whether they need to consolidate debt, consolidate credit cards, you know, get the basement done, get some work done on the house. They have a major car repair, if they have a medical issue, whatever they need the money for. But the problem is that they work a good job. The problem is that they don't have much credit. A lot of millennials are running into this issue right now where they don't have a lot of credit, okay? And where they have, of course, the job and everything I just mentioned before, but because the FICO model, which 90% of lenders use, they pretty much go by your credit history, okay? And then, of course, they look at a little bit of the job history. I mean, of course, they do pay attention to some things, okay? But at the same time, it's so traditional, okay? FICO's been around since the 1980s, and most lenders use them, okay, 90%. But Upstart uses the FICO scoring model as well, but at the same time, they dig a little bit deeper. So number one, they do look at your FICO score, okay, because they have to have an idea of where you stand and who have you paid and things of that sort, okay. They also go by your job history, all right. So they look at how long you've been working at the job and things of that sort. But what's so cool about them is that they're looking at your area of study when you went to school, when you went to college, okay. Not to determine what type of person you are, but just to see if you finished or if you didn't finish. They actually look at your ACT score as well too, to try to determine what type of person you are, if you're going to pay them back at a certain, you know, percentage rate or whatever. And again, these are people that think a little bit just deeper than just analytical systems that's been out for a while, and some people call it outdated, the FICO score. So you can't just go by that itself, okay? They also go by, of course, your education, if you have went to college or not. And again, not trying to separate people. There's no discrimination that they're doing or anything like that, but they're just trying to find more means of saying, okay, yeah, this person may not have a lot of credit. They got, you know, just only student loans, you know, so they probably will be denied for a personal loan by a company that just goes by the FICO score, right? But and just credit history. But what they're saying is, hey, this person went to college, you know, they finished, they got a nice ACT score, they got good grades. That plays a huge role, okay? And so when you're looking at something like that, that plays a huge role into things. Not only that, one of the biggest investors is actually Mark Cuban. Yes, Mark Cuban from the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, of course, you know, from Shark Tank, wherever you've seen him. I mean, you guys know he's a super techie kind of guy. And of course, he's one of the biggest investors. Not to mention another investor is actually their ex-employer, Google themselves, okay? And Google is actually one of the another big investor inside of this company. And the reason why it's doing so well is because they're looking at non-traditional ways of getting people approved for personal loans. Also, and this is probably like one of the biggest things, and a lot of people are starting to revert to this, is the soft pull technology, the soft inquiry technology. What does that mean? That means that they can let you know your interest rate, and if you're going to be approved with them without your social security number, without a hard inquiry, okay? So all you have to do is just, of course, fill out their form. You can actually go to the link right above, and it, of course, you know, you can apply if you want to. It's up to you. And but either way, they can let you know if you're approved without looking at your social. That's huge, okay? And they'll let you know your interest rate as well too. So, but of course, shout out to, you know, Upstart. I see you guys are doing a great job. Of course, they helped me out, and I'm actually about to use them again for some personal investment stuff I'm about to do right now. So they'll see it. And just so you guys know, I thought that was pretty cool because they most definitely keep up to their word. And I've applied, and of course my credit's not an issue. I've applied at a few places, like everyone's doing a pre-approval process with the with the soft pull and things of that sort. Everyone's starting to do that now, but Upstart's been doing that since day one, so it's pretty cool. And but even though I have great credit, they still gave me the absolute best rates. So the relationship I built with them, and I paid that loan off pretty quickly. And but they are pretty cool. I just snuck that in there. So but another thing too is that they have no prepayment penalty. Okay, so that means if you take out, let's say, a 1-year loan, 2-year loan, and you pay it off earlier, you don't get penalized for it. There's no extra fee for that. Okay. Also, they do not share your information. A lot of companies, when you do a financial, when you build a financial relationship with them, with a personal loan or an auto loan, mortgage, whatever, credit cards, whatever, they sell your information, okay, to other companies, and that way, if you leave them, they then can get paid from another company that they may own or have a partnership with, and say, hey, this customer left us, but listen, this was what their score was when they was with us. Here's their information. And this is how you guys get random stuff in the mail, okay? Upstart does not do that, okay? They know what irritates people. What irritates people is, of course, getting denied for something, especially when you worked hard and you just haven't had time to build, credit. Yeah, you got student loans on there, so they look at outside sources, okay? And, of course, getting a lot of crap mail, okay? Nobody wants to keep getting, all the spam mail, right? Not just in your inbox, in the mailbox, too, okay? So hopefully that was helpful, but of course, I try to speak from a personal opinion. I've used them. They're not paying me for this in any way, shape, or form. But I think it's pretty cool, though, for people to have a platform to start instead of just going to their local bank. Because most banks, you got to be a 680 or above to even get approved. Sometimes they'll dip a little bit lower, but for the most part, the average, they're going to want you to be a 680 or above. And Upstart, I've seen them go as low as about 640. Sometimes I've heard stories about 620. But again, you can always go on their site. Your credit score will not be affected if you apply with them. So that's what's pretty cool. So, and plus, it's founded by guys who used to work at Google, and of course a young lady who used to work at Google as well too, and they're backed by, of course, Mark Cuban. So how could you go wrong? Unless you're talking about their NBA record, right? But either way, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like it if you like it. If you want to share it, of course, you can always share it. If you want to stay updated on all the rest of my videos coming up, just make sure you subscribe. And I always speak from experience, never theory. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day.